Andy from sellerseo.com, and today I'm going to show you how I source, or how I used to source, using AliExpress. I've been doing this for quite a while now, so I don't quite need to do it this way. I can usually, between my gut and intuition and doing it for so long, I can kind of come up with the ways to do it on my own. But I'm going to show you, this is the way I start out early on, when I didn't know a ton and didn't have good intuition and didn't know how to kind of figure out if a product was going to be good or not. So, all right, I'm going to minimize this down and get started here. Okay, so, there's a couple of things to do here. Like I always say, the first thing I would do, I used to just source anything I could, whatever I thought of. Nowadays, I try to source with what I'm interested in. A lot of times I use like baseball, for example, because I'm a pretty big San Francisco Giants fan, even though lately they've been sucking. If you're a Giants fan, you know what I'm talking about. But, I'm still a fan. I'll still watch them even though they lose. But hopefully next year they get their act together. Anyway, pick something you're passionate about. And to me, that's the best way to sell a product, because it'll show through when you sell the product. If you're passionate about, if you're just kind of chasing the dollars, the customer will see that. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to start browsing. Because I like baseball, I'm just going to do a simple search of baseball, just super wide. Looks like I'm getting a lot of baseball caps, so maybe I'm going to go down to team sports here. Let's filter through. Looks like we're getting a bunch of baseball caps here. Let's do baseball. Let's do baseball bats, see if we can get anything. Okay, here we go. So we got a bunch of baseball bats here. Now, the reason I use AliExpress and not Alibaba when I'm sourcing, coming up with my ideas for sourcing, is because you can buy in ultra low quantities on AliExpress and then test the product on Amazon. And if it works well, then you can reorder. This way, you're not stuck with 1,000 units if you can't perform. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'll jump over to our keyword tool. If you guys don't have it, it's free. It's you can download it if you go to the short code tiny.cc/KW tool. What this does is it'll give me search volume and competition. So the first thing I want to do here is do baseball bats. All right, let's do a search here. And we should have the results here in a second. Okay, we got the results here. The next thing we're going to do is get competition. This will kind of if this is a super rated market or not. There's a way to load, but we got the first kind of group here. So that'll be enough for me for now. So I'm going to hit stop just so I can start looking at this stuff. So it looks like baseball bat display might be something we want to look at. There's not much competition here, only 560 products. Baseball batting gloves, that looks like also something that might be worth looking at. Baseball bat might not be a very good product to source because there's a ton of competition of over 20,000 products. So let's go back down here and let's look into this. Let's look at baseball batting gloves. So we'll go to, that's Alibaba baseball. I'll talk about that later. Baseball batting gloves. Okay, let's check that out. All right, so looks like we got quite a bit, or at least a decent amount here. Not a ton, but enough to maybe at least test the market. These are pretty expensive. Now, let's see here. Sometimes they give you quantity discounts. So let's find one that's reasonably priced that maybe, this one looks like it might be okay. Let's check this out, see if they give us a quantity discount. Let's see here, bulk price, 2 pairs or more. That's not very good. Okay, so another website that a lot of people don't know about is Wholesale. Alibaba.com. Now, this is similar to AliExpress. It's kind of a hybrid between AliExpress and Alibaba, where you can buy in larger quantities, but the MOQ is usually still fairly small. So let's see if they got any baseball batting gloves here. All right, here we go. Now we got $6 to $13 a pair. We got $6.90 starting at down to $6.90. $5. We might want to do some filtering here just to see if we can get a better price. All right, let's try and filter. I think there's a way to filter here. Maybe not. All right, let's look at this one. 500 pairs, we go down to $6.10, which is a huge difference here. But 500 might be more than we want. So it kind of comes down to if you want to try to test something in small quantities, like I said on AliExpress, you could just buy one of these. The other thing we're going to want to do is check Amazon, of course. Okay, so let's check Amazon. Let's look at batting gloves. $21, $13, $5, $10. Okay, so we're going to know pretty quickly that this is probably not a good product to source just because competition-wise, it's not going to be very good. Now, if we bought in quantity, it might be okay. $6 is a decent income if you're looking at something like this, $21. But these are big brand names, so we might not want to do that. Now, this still might be worthwhile though, because what you can do is you could still buy one of these gloves here and do a test just to see what the demand is going to be like. Now, something else you really want to think about when you're sourcing a product is your PPC costs. So if your PPC costs, if you go in, what you'd want to do is just log into your Amazon advertising account and create a fake campaign and add keywords related to this. So, batting glove, baseball batting glove, things like that, and see what your cost per click is going to be. If it's going to be like over $1, then once again, you might want to look at something else because this just might not be, something that you're going to want to source because your profit's going to be hit pretty hard. If you are a member of Seller SEO, you can of course use the Acostinator tool. This tool is cool because we can just go ahead and plug in the product that we're thinking about sourcing. So weight, length, width, height, and our sales price. We can see the fees and then the units, and then we can see what our what our target ACOS would be, and then that we can go and see how much that's going to be on Amazon, and then we can figure out if that's going to be profitable or not. So let's maybe look for something else. It looks like these baseball gloves won't actually work super well. So let's try something else. All right, let's get rid of this. We need extra. Okay. So let's see, baseball. Maybe let's see another passion. Let's say, what if you're a big coffee fan? I know that coffee is probably going to be pretty saturated, but let's try it. Let's see what we come up here. Coffee. Oops. Machine maker, coffee table, coffee printer, coffee roaster, coffee filter. Let's look at coffee filter. That's interesting. All right, so 40 pieces for $1.60 per pack. Let's see what we got here. Coffee, filter. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, here's 100 count, pack of 3 for $15. So that would be $5. Let's see if we can get anything with a little more. It's 50 pieces. Here's 50 pieces. 40. Here's 100 for $3.06. So let's see. All right, looks like they're giving a bulk price, $3 per bag if you do 10 or more. So if we did 10, it would cost us $31, and it would cost us $1.55 to ship to the US. So all in here, our cost wouldn't be very high. You'd have to see what the packaging is. It might just be, plain old packaging. But this actually might be something worthwhile to check just because the margins look like they'll be there. Let's check. See if we can get like a 50 pack here and see what people are. Here's 100 count for, no, that's a 6 pack. Number 400 count. Oh, no, looks like this one won't work too well either, just because of the pricing. But once again, what you want to do next is go and check, because we're testing. We might not make a profit on the things that we're testing, but the reason we're testing that is because we want to see if it's going to be worthwhile. But this will give us a good indication if once we do test it to make sure that we can find a decent price on these on Alibaba. For some reason, not a whole lot of coffee filters are coming up, which is kind of weird. Did I spell all this right? Yep. All right. So maybe I have to do drip coffee filter. Let's try drip. Okay. Oops. See drip. All right. Let's see if that helps. That doesn't seem to help us much either. There we go. So it looks like we can get a bag of, let's see how many are in these. Let's see here. MOQ 1,000 bags, supplyability 2,000, quantity bags. So it looks like 50 cents for 200 is what I'm reading here. I believe that's what they're selling here, which makes sense. 100 pieces packed paper. Oh, maybe it's 50 cents for 100. Yeah, that makes sense. So it looks like we could get this for around 50 cents for 100. So if we go back here and we look at 50 cents for 100, let's see what where we stand. Let's do drip. Let's narrow this down as well. All right, so let's see here. 100 count. So 600. So if you supplied 600, which would be $3, you could compete with this product right here. So pack of 6, which would mean 600, and we saw that we could probably pay about 50 cents a piece for them. So what we do is go back to our AliExpress product, and like I said, this is expensive. We're getting 100 pieces for $3.16 plus shipping, but we can now test this. We could even bundle it into this pack size to see if that works. We might break even or even lose a little bit of money in the process, but when you think about the fact that a lot of times people will source, they'll order like 500 units or 1,000 units, and then it won't work. Now they're stuck with that. This is an awesome way to test. Now let's check something else real quick here. Let's do drip coffee filter here and see what we come up with, and see if it's going to be an impossible way to. Let's just do coffee filter. Let's go a little more broad here. All right, coffee filters. So looks like this might be worth looking at. There's a ton of results, but look at the search volume here. There's a ton of people searching for this, so it might be worth it. Let's see here. Cuisinart reusable coffee filters 4. This one right here might be might be something. Coffee filter. So if you picked smart keywords here, this might be something you'd want to use. But once again, I'm just pulling products out of my hat to just kind of show you the process of how I'm going and looking at AliExpress. I'm taking my keyword ideas. I'm looking on Amazon to see price-wise if that's going to be competitive. And then, like I said, you're going to want to go on into your Seller Central account and then look at what you're going to pay for cost per click. So that's kind of the gist of how I do this. Now, if you want to add into the equation like something like Jungle Scout to verify some data like how many of these sell per day or per month and look at the competition, that's something you can also do. We're actually working on a new tool similar to that on Seller SEO, but it's not out yet. Hopefully, at the beginning of next year, we'll have a tool that does that as well. But in the meantime, this is kind of what I use more than anything now, even more than to verify the numbers using a sourcing tool, just because this will kind of tell you immediately if if this product is saturated or not without looking at any of the other tools. So that's how you can source smart and test your product ideas. If you're importing from China and doing private label and you're not like inventing your own product, this is absolutely the way to do it, especially if you're just starting out. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I can always do a follow-up video on this. And, like I said, I'm trying to do a live video every day. Yesterday, I kind of dropped the ball. My wife and I had a miscommunication on who had to get home to watch the kids yesterday, because my wife, if you follow me, she's starting her real estate career, so she's getting a little more busy with that. Anyway, that's an excuse though. I'm going to really, really try to stick myself to, doing a live every day. On the weekends, I might, I'm not counting the weekends. I may do some lives on the weekends, but Monday through Friday, I'm going to try to do at least one live a day with something really valuable like this, where actual actionable things on like how to source, for Amazon, how to source on Alibaba, how to source for Amazon, how to source on Alibaba, how to source on AliExpress, kind of the techniques that I use. I might even go into like shipping and logistics and things like that. But I'm just going to try to pick, a topic that I see that a lot of people having trouble with every time, and try to go over that. So that's it. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. TGIF. Enjoy your weekend. Like I said, if you get anything out of this video, once again, please like and comment it. It really helps me, kind of gives me the driving force to keep doing this. So I really appreciate it if you do that. If not, I get it. Tons of people are asking you to do that. Your time's valuable. But if you take the second to just click the like button, I'd really, really appreciate it. Or if you have something to add to the conversation in the comments, once again, that'd be great also. All right, guys, take care.